Okay. Today I'm playing on this map. It's a moving train map. Cops first, cops. I'm facing the enemy. Oh, I actually shot blindly there and I think it. It's gonna be difficult to see the same number of infantry, except they've got machine guns, they've got but I've got caps on. And that's all what matters really. Yeah. I probably get the enemy. Ah! Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Then speaking of AI, I think AI is overhated. I think a lot of the people complain, especially like AI generated videos, animations. I don't see them as like a threat to human creativity. I see them as like an enabler on it. Because think of it as like building a house. An animation is a house. And wouldn't it be awesome if everyone could have a house? But under the current system, creative has a vision of a story they want to tell, and that story needs to be made, and it requires lots of people and millions of dollars to tell that story. So what AI would allow to do is acceptable quality tell that story. Now I don't think AI will fully replace humans because humans are superior, and the only reason to be scared about AI is if you think that humans are inferior to AI, and then AI is going to make humanity obsolete, and I think that's a legitimate reason to be scared of AI. But a lot of the people say hating on AI say it's inferior to humans, which is why it's bad. And of course, there's like companies pushing it, which is like not a good thing, and forcing it down people's throats, and that's bad. But I think AI in general, creative AI in general, is a good thing, unless it's like words and stuff. For example, what makes something a good story is human magic. If something's made by like AI, then I think that's bad. But in terms of like AI generated videos, like those videos and stuff, it's like a lot of it's like the humans coming up with the idea and the AI making it. Now if it was just the idea, if the ideas were made by I can understand hating it. But AI enabling people to fulfill their ideas, I see as a good thing. And it's pro-creative, not anti-creative. Like, let's say making a movie goes down for like millions of dollars to make an animated movie, like $20,000, that's objectively a good thing. Especially for like independent animation, because yeah, pretty much AI won't reduce it. It's not like there's gonna be the same amount of stuff produced. It's just gonna be AI generated. The limiting factor is financial availability, the availability of capital, and with more capital available, it means same amount of capital, but capital going further, it means that it's a good thing. Also another thing, like, for example, AI gets to a point where, like, let's say you make a crappy 3D movie, like, like, low quality, animatic, and stuff, like, you know, how, like, there's the storyboards. If AI could turn storyboards into an actual, cartoon, that would be, like, objectively a good thing. Because AI, because like animation isn't just like drawing. medium. But of course, there will always be demand for hand-drawn animation. Well, actually, no, currently hand-drawn animation. Yeah, but I don't think, as I said, hand-drawn animation is down because already economic work. But hypothetically, let's say, yeah. But pretty much, I don't think humans are going to be turned obsolete by AI. And I think in the short term, people will lose their jobs, but AI will create new jobs, and it's just going to push up humans higher up on the pyramid. For example, back in the medieval period, farmers used to till the soil, but actually no, before like livestock and stuff, because the medieval period had livestock plowed fields. There was a time before livestock, before the ox, where people would have plowed the fields with manpower. But with more and more technological development, farming a field required like a village, but now it doesn't require a village. So I think that's where uh, movies and stuff will go, because so pretty much I think a positive outcome of AI would be to like be able to produce TV quality stuff with YouTube level budgets. So I think that would be like a great thing, but instead people AI. But what I'm trying, yeah, so much what I'm trying to say is that the people who should be most pro AI are for some reason the most anti AI. And I think that's not good. I think people should be more pro AI and pro robots. For example, if a robot can replace a factory worker's job, then that factory worker will do something more productive. So in the short time, they'll be out of a job, but in the long term, it's like they move up on the pyramid of feudalism. So I think like just like tractors, like machinery and robots are going to be like tractors pretty much in farming. And you look at farmers nowadays, historically farmers were most people were farmers and they're dirt poor, but now very few people are farmers and they're all rich. But like the same amount of farm food, even more food is being produced than ever. So there's less farmers and more food, which means that people can do better things. So I think automation and robotics is always a good, even when it's a bad thing in the short term. And I think a lot of the short-term negatives are caused by solvable factors and other social issues and stuff. So a well-functioning state would be able to uphold and pretty much help people who lose their job because of more automation. But of course, immigrate. Actually, I won't talk about immigration, but pretty much I think automation is better than immigration. And that in the ideal world, the third world will become automated by robots. So for the West, the current system of importing cheap stuff from overseas, imagine that, but cheap stuff manufactured by robots. That's like the ideal outcome that rich Western countries should aim for. So I think, for example, like in the Sahel has like big deserts. If you could like get solar panels there, and then you have factories, solar powered factories producing lots of stuff in the Sahel. Of course, there will be a problem with water, but a big pipeline will do. And of course, a few thousand years ago, like 10,000 years ago, the Sahara was actually not a desert, and it was like greenish. It was like a savanna. So yeah, I am confident that like the future of the world will robots are the future, and any opposition to robots is very short-sighted and ultimately a negative. For example, like, well, the animals are pretty happy, but imagine if like people still had to like plow the field and be farmers like in the olden days before the tractor was invented. That would just be horrible for most people. Most people would be worse off. So really, automation means that people move up the chain of command, and at the chain of command means more wealth, more debt. Shouldn't have, man. Shouldn't have. This is I should have reduced the amount of like. Oh well. So yeah. Also, I should have made it short match. Way too long. And I have to go early. Especially considering all my storage space. I can get the hard drive has got soon. What's on this wire? Oh. Yeah. So I think people shouldn't be against the onslaught of technology, and I think people should be pro AI and pro technology. I think must be supportive. Incredible. One more time, then I'm ending this video. These extras. Revolvers are so cool. They're like much better than